What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. So, I kind of feel like this is overdue, but tonight I'm making meatballs. So, this is for about 3/4 of a pound of meat. So, what I got is 50-50 of ground beef and ground pork. So, traditionally, people would also use ground veal, but I don't eat veal. So, I asked my butcher just to make just the pork for me. So, um, aside from that, what we need is for this about 3 cloves of chopped garlic and maybe about a 1/4 cup of chopped fresh parsley. I got about 1/3 of a cup of my homemade breadcrumbs. I'm going to use equal amounts of grated pecorino romano, a little bit of salt, and 1 egg to use as a binder. So I'm going to make this with some pasta and my spicy red sauce, the arrabbiata. I'll post a link for that video. That's one I did a little while back. So all we're really going to do is throw everything in a bowl and get to it. So give me a minute. I'll be back. All right, we're back. Just needed to make a little bit of counter space. So what I'm going to do is make the meatballs, and I got the oven preset to 400. I'm going to put them in there for about 15 minutes to get a little crust on them. And then I'm going to let them simmer into the sauce for, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes. And the good thing about when you make the meatballs and you put them in the oven to get them going, if you're making a lot and you're not going to use them all tonight, you can put them in the freezer, and then at a later date, you can defrost them and just let them simmer in your sauce for that second night. So, quick tip for that. So, just get the beef in there. You can either use a wooden spoon or your hands. Because it's just me, I'm going to just go ahead and get in there. Start to mix them up. Going to put the garlic and the parsley in there. My breadcrumbs. Got this cheese here. And I know some people, like I've seen on Food Network, some people get pretty crazy. They put like raisins in here and nuts. This is kind of a little more lean and mean, a little more traditional. Not too much fluff, you know. It's kind of how my mom and my grandma used to do it. Just kind of a little bit simpler, old world. You don't need a lot for this too, because that arrabbiata's got a lot of spice in the sauce. So the meatballs, they don't need to get too nuts. I'm going to use just a spoon to get it started, and then, like I said, I'm going to use my hands for the rest. So you can make them any size that you want. I like to make them a little bit smaller, just because how I used to have them growing up. So I don't know, when I get to the point where they're ready to be made into a ball, I don't know, maybe a little bit bigger than a golf ball, no bigger than that. So I'm going to get in here a little bit more, and then when they're ready to be balled up, I'll be back. All right, so we're back. Right now we got one giant meatball, but we're actually going to break this up. And again, they don't got to be exact. Just kind of roll them up with your hands, kind of like we did with that Swanson burger. It's actually a little on the big side, but anything like that, you know, you can make them as little or as big as you want. I know a lot of times when you go to those old school Italian restaurants, they'll give you like one giant meatball if you get like spaghetti and meatballs. This is more for the at-home style, where maybe you would get that same amount of meat, but in, say, 2 or 3 meatballs. So just kind of get them lined up, get them rolling, and again, ideally you would like them to be all the same size, but you know, because it's homemade, they can vary. Mix it up a little bit, go nuts. As far as the foil, if you're using straight up beef, you might want to put a little Pam or something so they don't stick when you cook them in the oven. Because I got the pork fat in here, there's enough fat where I don't think you need it. They won't stick. You'll be good. So Can get like maybe 4 in a row here. I think I might get 6 to 8 meatballs out of this one. Now I kind of like when you do homemade. You could use garlic powder or minced garlic, but I kind of like the homemade style. Like just as I rolled one, I could feel a big garlic chunk in there. Just something a little bit different. Just has that authentic homemade feel. So I think I'm gonna get one tiny one out of here. Actually, I'm gonna break this one up. This one's a little big. Kind of going on the fly here. Make this one a little bit bigger. So they're a little closer. So I'm gonna get 7 out of this. So just gotta have them arranged on the baking sheet. Just keep an eye on your sauce. You want this to be at a simmer, kind of keep it at like a low bubble. You don't want it boiling and everything jumping everywhere, but you just want to keep an eye on that as you're doing this. Here are the meatballs. Looking pretty good. Look almost good enough to eat already, but let's cook them first. So 15 minutes in the oven. So now you can kind of hang out, maybe grab a beer or some wine. And then when the time comes to put them in the sauce for simmering, then you can start your pasta water and cook your pasta so everything's done at the same time. We'll be back. All right, so these are done and they're ready to be taken out. So you can see they're starting to look cooked, and they shrunk a little bit too, which will happen. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to put 3 in here tonight, and I'll save the other 4 for another time. So you just, maybe I'll eat 4 tonight. These look pretty good. So just get them in there. Smaller one, and just let them simmer in the sauce for again about 20 more minutes. So I'll get my water started. I'm doing some more of that rigatoni from the pasta shop, so that takes about 11 minutes. Just time it out. I would let these other ones cool off before you put them in a little Ziploc for the freezer. So I'll be back in a little while, and it's time to plate up. See ya. All right, so that thing's got a couple more minutes to go. If you're having pasta and meatballs, it really only feels right to have some wine. So another one of my runs from Total Wine got this nice cab, which is kind of bold. Goes good with something hearty like the meatballs, so that'll be good. Looking forward to that. Good to have some wine again. So we'll be back. All right, so the pasta has just been drained, so we're about to plate up. Got a nice plate of rigatoni, and got my meatballs with the arrabbiata. So just gonna put them all on here, and then put some gravy right on top. So we got 4 nice sized meatballs, and this spicy sauce to go with it. Nice big plate of food. Homemade meatballs. Can't beat it. So everybody have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow. See ya.